have a comfy holiday sweater, cute little snowflake earrings, hot chocolate in a festive mug. I think I'm ready. It's time to talk. It's that time of year again. Time to look back on how I did on my 2021 cosplay and crafting goals and set new goals for the new year. I already know, with a lockdown, crazy work schedule, house renovations that went on forever, doing a lot of crocheting and crafting for Christmas presents, I didn't get as much of these goals accomplished as I would really have liked. But let's do this. Let's take a look at them. Past Carrie, would you refresh our memory about what my 2021 goals were? Costumes I want to make. I'm going to start out with the 1920s Sailor Moon. At some point, I would like to do that. One of the mock-ups that I was working on for the 15th century Gryffindor, I hadn't finished yet because I knew it was close enough that I could make the costume. I'd like to finish that. Just be a really nice kirtle gown to have. Yep, I got that one finished. Got it finished in time to wear at Halloween, and I also wore it recently out in the woods in the Canadian winter to wish you all happy holidays. The VAD uniform. And not just researching, I think I've done a fair bit of that. There's only one more thing I really want to do, and that is to go to the Canadian War Museum to see their excellent St. John Ambulance VAD uniforms. Okay, so I did a bit more research, but in terms of construction, I made one mock-up for the corset, and I've been slowly working away at crocheting the corset cover. Yeah, not a lot of progress. I want to do my own version of Alice in Wonderland. Kind of a before and after. So before, have a nice, simple, historical-ish dress or skirt and top. And then the after part, I'm calling it Trophies of Wonderland, where she has little mementos of her adventures in Wonderland. Okay, did get a fair bit of progress on this. The skirt, blouse, and snood are done. It looks identifiable as Alice in Wonderland. And of course, I want to make Atreyu more costumes as well, because he's adorable. Oh yeah, Atreyu got a couple of costumes this year. For Easter, I made him little bunny ears, and for Halloween, he was a pirate. Photo shoots that I'd like to do. Most of my costumes, I finally have nice pictures of them. So I think the only thing that I'll add in here is Morticia Addams. I have the dress, I have the wig. Let's make this happen. Improvements to existing costumes or ones that I know are going to take a long time. We're just going to go with the two that were on there before. The beading for the Agatha Christie dress and trying to crochet Princess Serenity from Sailor Moon. Cosplays that I might do. River Song from Doctor Who. Everybody else has done one. I think it might be time for me to tackle the American Duchess cape. Big thing was I wasn't sure what material to use. I do have a fair bit of cotton left over from the 15th century Gryffindor, but it's a very heavy cotton and loosely woven. And I'm not sure that's the right kind of material for that cape. Yeah, I think my concerns about the material for this is what prevented me from getting it accomplished. Just, yes, it's heavy cotton, but it stretches so much. Is it going to keep its shape? And just, would it be all just bleh? I also want to make a Professor Mcgonagall hat. At some point, I want to do a full Professor Mcgonagall cosplay, but for this year, I think just starting with the hat. Things I want to learn. I want to learn how to use all of the feet for my sewing machine. Yes, I got that done. So other than the regular foot that you use most of the time, my sewing machine came with 3 additional feet. The first one, the button foot, or like buttonhole maker. Yes, I have used that now a few times, pretty comfortable with it. Buttons no longer terrify me. Next one is the zipper foot. Haven't used it to actually put in a zipper, but I did use it this year when I was creating the mock-up for the corset. Very useful, trying to get in right next to the busk. And I think it gave me enough understanding of how that foot can be used. I should have no problems using it to put a zipper in. Third foot is the blind hem foot. Okay, I didn't actually use this foot, but I did go through and look at all the instructions to actually kind of like, okay, what is this thing? How do you use this? Huh. Okay. A lot of my projects I don't care that much, or it's not that important to me at this stage to have a blind hem. So I haven't used it yet, but I know more about it. And not really learn, but I want to get more comfortable sewing corsets. I'm going to need corsets for both the VAD uniform and Alice in Wonderland. I made 1 corset mock-up. I don't think I can really say that I got more comfortable making corsets. Perhaps they don't terrify me quite as much. I think it shows that I'm still quite nervous about it. And that's why I only made 1. Yeah. Not a lot of my 2021 cosplay and crafting goals were accomplished. But I did a lot of other wonderful things. I really love how the bikini top turned out. The bottoms are a little big, but the top is really comfortable. And even just in that short little swim, it stayed in place and like it was choppy. Making Baby Yoda. Every time I see him, he makes me smile. The video Bring Back Cloaks, that was so much fun. Just twirling around outside in my driveway. Just like, I'm fluttering. Look at all the material. Participating in Corsetry in Motion. Okay, yeah, that was a good incentive, motivation to actually make my mock-up for the corset. And it gave me great insight into, yeah, those women were able to work in a corset. They did a lot in that corset. Because I had the research done to know what kind of jobs they had to do. And it was fine doing that. And of course, the editing of that video, trying to make it look all old-fashioned, that was fun. Oh, and I love my circle skirt. The circle skirt that I made out of a tablecloth. It has pockets. I love that thing, and I do wear it a fair bit. All right, we finished with the 2021, how I did or not do with those goals. Time to set new goals for 2022. Cosplay goals. The big one, the VAD uniform. Carrie, pay attention here. This should be the main thing you're working on. Stop being nervous about it. Stop overthinking it and just do the thing. Alice in Wonderland. For the before Wonderland part, I only have the fingerless gloves that I want to finish up. I have the material and I think I have figured out the pattern. And then of course all of the after Wonderland, the trophies of Wonderland look. But I'm hoping to have those mostly be side projects, things that I'm taking a break from doing the VAD uniform, give myself something different to do. Oh, I need a little crochet project because I'm going insane with knitting and sewing. Okay, you can work on this. Photo shoots I'd like to do. Yes, I want to get Morticia Adams' photo shoot done. Have the costume, have the wig. I just want the right atmosphere. Morticia Adams is not a costume that you would do on a beautiful summer day, or amidst the bloom of spring. That is definitely more to be embraced in the gloom of fall, or in the dreariness before new life returns in the spring. I also want to do a cosplay with Atreyu again, and I think I will do Miss Frizzle. It's been a bit since I brought out that costume, and I do love it. He can be my Liz, even though he's the wrong color. Improvements to existing cosplay or progress on a project I know is going to take a while. For the past couple of years, I've had the same two goals. I think it's time to mix things up a bit. I think all I'm going to do for this one is say, okay, you started a mock-up of the skirt for the Crocheted Princess Serenity. Let's get that done. Might do. I'm putting it back on the list, folks. I want to do the American Duchess cape. And yes, I'm going to use the material left over from the 15th century Gryffindor. Probably not ideal. I have no idea how it's going to stretch and warp over time as it hangs. But I'm not doing anything else at the moment with that material. Might as well do something with it. And yes, I want to make a witchy hat. I have laying around somewhere some beautiful green yarn. It's not like a vibrant, bright green. It's not super dark either. It's not a forest green. It's not an ugly army green. But it's a very nice green, and I think it would make a fabulous woodsy kind of witch hat. Things I want to learn. I want to improve my knitting skills. In my thrift haul video, I bought a book, Learn How to Knit in Just One Day. Well, if I'm going to be crazy and actually try to knit my own stockings, I need to really improve my knitting game. I also want to figure out how to use my serger. I found a serger at a thrift store and they're like, hey, look, it works. I'm like, okay, great. I get it home and I can't get it to work. I think it would be a very useful tool to have, especially for some of the history bounding or simple little costumes that I want to make, and not have to worry about seam spraying or having to do extra stitching so that it won't unravel in the wash. But it means taking time to figure out how to use the thing. I'm also trying to make sure that what I create, whether it's a costume, historical costume, cosplay, that I can wear this as part of my regular everyday wardrobe, my everyday history bounding wardrobe. That it is that balance of fun, but still practical. All plans are subject to change based upon available funds, my work schedule, my whims, and if we're in another lockdown. Oh, I hope we're not in another lockdown. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. And as I mentioned last year, if you do not see me producing videos showing that, yes, I'm working on this, you have my permission to comment going, Carrie, where are we at on this? So until next time, have fun, be creative, and take care. Cheers. Holy cramoly, my hair has grown since last year. My hair was like here last year. Might have to add learning how to do more vintage hairstyles to my goals. Yeah. That was my Christmas clock. It's wonderful. It sings a different carol each hour.